Okay, good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
So, kindly lead the prayer, Jonathan.
Dear God, thank you for this wonderful day. May you continue to guide us and bless us. Amen.
Amen. So, who is absent today?
None, sir.
Okay, that's nice to hear. So, you will take your seat. So, last meeting, we are done with our topic on how to sanitize and sterilize tools and equipment, right?
Yes, sir.
So, let's have a recap on our last topic, last meeting. Okay, so why do you think it is important to sanitize and sterilize tools and equipment before and after using it?
Sir, it is very important to sanitize and sterilize our tools and equipment because it can help us to prevent bacteria and diseases.
Yes, exactly. Very good. Thank you for that. So, why do we need to follow procedures correctly in sanitizing and sterilizing tools and equipments?
Sir, we need to follow procedure in sanitizing and sterilizing to make our tools clean and free from bacteria.
Very good. So, I can say that you can still remember our past lesson yesterday. So, before we proceed to our next lesson, we will play a game first. So, it's shuffle time. I have here prepared a sets of jumbled letters. So, as you can see, I will give a clue to each jumbled letters that you are going to arrange to create a meaningful word. Okay, so I will give you 1 minute for each word to arrange. Your clue will be flashed here on the screen, and after analyzing and guessing, you will arrange your answer here on the Manila paper posted on the wall. Okay, is all clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So before we start, let me first show you the rubrics for your activity. So accuracy and speed. Yes. So are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We move on to our first. Okay. So your 1 minute starts now. What word can you guess from the clue here?
Electricity.
Okay. Now you may arrange the letters there if you can form electricity. Okay. Mhm. Okay, let's see if you got it correctly. Wow, very good. So, number one is indeed electricity. Okay, so for number two, what word can you guess?
Chemical.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, how about this one?
Phones.
And this? And lastly, this one. Okay, so thank you. You may now take your seat. Okay, let's check if you got it all correctly. Also, for number one, you've answered electricity. Okay, that's right. Very good. For number two, you answered chemical. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Very good again. For number three, you answered fall. Okay, you got it. And for number four, fire. And lastly, yes. Okay, so you got it all correctly. So, based from our game, what do you think is our lesson for today?
Sir, our lesson for today is all about hazard and risk.
Exactly, very good. So, our lesson for today is all about hazards and risk. So, can you differentiate the two?
Yes.
So, what do you think is the difference between hazards and risk? Any idea?
Yes.
Okay, so hazard are harm or adverse health effects on something or someone under certain conditions at work. For example, electricity, like that, uh, chemicals, burns, just like that. Okay.
Yes.
Risk, the chance or probability that a person will be harmed or experience an adverse health effect if exposed to hazard. For example, nadulas ka, nahulog sa hagdan, ganon, okay?
Yes.
Yan. So we have the first hazard. Can you please read, Jonathan?
Electricity. Common accident in the workplace can result from contact with faulty electricity equipment that may have become loose or from contact with worn or damaged power cords in switches. The presence of water in the salon increases the risk of electrocution or injury.
Yes. So, sa bahay mo, nasubukan mo na bang makuryente? Hindi pa. Okay. So, how can we avoid or prevent it from happening? Do you have any guess?
Yes.
So, we can prevent electricity by not touching any equipment with wet hands. Huwag magsasaksak ng kung ano-ano kapag basa ang ating kamay. Okay? So, always check your equipment before use also. So that we can prevent electricity. Okay? So, do not run too many pieces of equipment from one socket. Sa bahay nyo, nagsasaksak ka ba ng madami sa isang? Yes, that's right. So, next, we move on to the chemical hazard. So, chemicals used in the beauty salon like nail polish removers, callus removers, and acrylic powders for artificial nails are common products found in many salon. Okay, so, sa bahay natin kapag may mga gamit ka bang panglinis sa bahay? Like
Yes.
yes. So, tinatago mo ito o hindi?
Tinatapos.
Yes. Para hindi, laruin ng mga bata, okay?
Yes.
So, using alternative substances or processes which are less hazardous, okay? So, good ventilation can get rid of the fumes and chemical smell that builds up in a salon. So, nasubukan mo na bang pumasok sa salon?
Yes.
So, for example, yung good ventilation can get rid of the fumes and chemical smell that builds up in a salon. So, nakukulog yung amoy ng nail polish sa salon. Kaya, dapat meron tayong good ventilation doon, okay?
Yes.
So, providing separate eating and drinking amenities for employees, yes. Ensuring appropriate safety signs, training, instruction, and provision of material safety. So, using appropriate PPE, okay? So, any question?
None seen.
Moving on, let's move on to the slip, trips, and fall. Kindly read, Joliet.
Slip, falls. Slip, trips, and falls are common occurrences in workplace. People slip and trip or slippery, raw or uneven surfaces and may fall down from stairs or off ladders.
Okay, so kapag nakakita ka ng basa sa bahay nyo, sa floor, anong ginagawa mo agad?
Pinupunas.
Yes, para hindi madulas. Also, yung mga nakakalat sa bahay, pinupulot natin para hindi tayo matrip or matisod, okay? So, kailangan din may mga may mga Okay, so that's all. So moving on, we have also fire. The range, number, and probability of electrical equipment used in salons, together with their proximity to water, make for potentially hazardous situations. So, ayan, so very common ito kahit sa bahay, mga bahay. So how can we avoid fire or prevent it from happening? Kapag may fire, anong una natin ginagawa? Anong una mong ginagawa? Sumisigaw ka ba? Humingi ka ng tulong?
Yes.
Yes. So, in salons or sa ating bahay, ang dapat we have fire extinguishers or sand buckets, water and hoses. Yes. So, we can prevent fire also kapag i-switch off natin yung mga electrical appliances before leaving the workplace, okay?
Yes.
So, yan. Keep all escape routes and fire exits clear and make regular checks to ensure this case. Firefighting equipment must be available located in specified area. So, yan, yung mga fire extinguishers, waters, and hoses, yan yung mga storm products, particularly aerosols away from naked flames or sources of heat at or below room temperature and in a dry atmosphere. So make sure that all workers in the salon are aware of the action that must take in the event of fire. Okay, so moving on, we have also the manual handling of materials and tools. Kindly read, Jolibet.
Manual handling of materials and tools, lifting and moving heavy stock materials and working at poorly designed workstation can cause injuries and muscle strains. Injury due to cutting with cuticle nippers, cuticle scissors, and cuticle pusher.
Yes, we can, how can we prevent injury? When using, yes, tools. You should know the proper way of holding it, especially when using tools with sharp edges. We must know how to use properly those tools so that we can prevent unwanted accidents like what you see on the pictures. Okay.
Yes.
Moving on, we have infection hazards. Unsafe or unhygienic practices in the beauty salon may affect the health of customers and workers that may lead to exposure to biological hazards that cause infectious diseases such as blood-borne pathogens, okay, hepatitis, B, C, and HIV, fungal infections, ringworm. So when going to salons or sa bahay, be sure na yung mga tools and equipments na gagamitin natin ay na-sanitize. Especially sa salon, kapag hindi ka sure, you can ask the beautician kung well sanitized ba ang mga tools na gagamitin sa'yo. Kasi hindi mo alam kung yung naunang gumamit ng tools na yon ay may hepa ba or wala. Okay?
Yes.
Moving on, we also have ergonomic hazards. Is the scientific study of people at work. The goal of ergonomics is to reduce stress and eliminate injuries and disorders associated with the overuse of muscles, bad posture, and repeated tasks. So, ayan. So, dapat komportable yung kamay, mga legs natin so that we can prevent ergonomic hazards. Okay?
Yes.
So, that concludes our lesson for today. Do you have any question?
None, sir.
Okay, if none, let's have an activity. So, write true if you think the statement is correct and false if you think the statement is incorrect.
Yes.
So, for number 1, I will give you 5 minutes to finish the activity, okay?
Yes.
Okay, are you done with the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yes.
Now let's move on to the other. Okay, kindly raise your hand if you are done. Okay, so let's check. So for number 1, MSDS provides information on how to handle, store, discard, and care for potentially hazardous chemicals. Is it a true?
Yes.
Yes, it's true. So OHS is a planned system of working to prevent illness and injury where you work by recognizing and identifying hazards and risks in the field salon. So what is your answer?
True.
Let's see. Okay, very good. Number 3, kindly read an answer.
I identifying workplace hazard means looking for those things at your workplace that have the potential to cause harm. Sir, true.
True. Okay, you're right. So for number 4, damaged equipment may cause an accident or injury if it is not working correctly. Is it a true or false?
True.
Yes, true. In any occupation where there is exposure to blood and other bodily fluids, there is always the potential for the transmission of blood-borne allergy. Is it a true or false?
False.
Yes. Okay, so for number 6, what is your answer?
True, sir.
True. So for number 7, false. 8 is true. 9 and 10. So who got perfect score? Okay, very good. So to let's see how much you've learned. Try to answer these questions again. Write it in a 1/4 sheet of paper. Okay, so are you done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's check. What is your answer for number 1?
Letter is
Letter?
A.
Oh, it's letter B. It is chance or probability that a person will be harmed or will experience an adverse health effect if exposed to hazard. How about to number 2?
Letter A.
Okay. Number 3,
Letter A.
risk assessment. Okay.
Letter A.
Letter A and okay, so can you differentiate hazards and risks?
Certain hazards are harm or adverse health effects, or sometimes, or someone under certain conditions at work, while risk is the chance or probability that person will be harmed if exposed to hazard.
Exactly, thank you. So from that, can you give me one example of hazard or risk and explain it?
Sir, slips, trips, falls. This is very common occurrences in workplace.
So how can you avoid or prevent it from happening?
Sir, we should always clean up sleep, strike night away.
Yeah, so thank you. So do you have any questions?
None, sir.
Okay, so if none, that will be all for today. Goodbye, class.
Goodbye, sir.
Okay, so and lastly for your assignment, yes, you can use your phone to take a picture on it. Okay, so that would be your assignment for today. So you will look for hazards and risks that might be present in your house. Place a sticker wherever You find possible hazards in your house. Identifying with the possible ways that might happen in your house. So that will be all for today. Goodbye, class.
Goodbye.